All right, happy May 19th, happy Tuesday. Hey guys. Today's trade was honestly kind of scary. I mean, even though it panned out the way I wanted to, it just kind of scared me, right? So just focusing on US 30, Nas was a little bit on the easier side, but same, she did the setup. A lot of people don't get it. You could have an A plus setup and you could want a full portrait count, and then you could have easily blown it because of some dumb shit that Nas did today. So this is how, and this is why learning how to basically read the charts and looking to the left is always a must, right? So, we came down, bounce, right? So I already see something that's holding support here. Came down, bounced. Okay, sweet, same area. Came down, bounced. Came down, bounced. So we one, two, three, four. So now when we're coming down again pre-market, I basically want to see it hold support in this area, right? So, um, really, what I was expecting was basically was this. I really wanted to see it hold this. Um, I wanted to see it wick the next pre-market candle, the last 15 minutes before market opening, where I typically do enter on. I want to see it, if it gives me a confirmation, I want to see it literally wick the top of my purple box, 49,518. I want to see it go up. I kid you not, right? That's all I wanted to do. Looking at the candle, and you're just gonna, since we're on a 15-minute time frame, you could see it, but she was holding right on top of this, and she slowly was coming down, and she was jumping up, but she never really gave me that. I don't know. It might be trader's instinct at this point, but it never really gave me confirmation that we were basically gonna break the 563 level to push up. I failed to take this for a sell side, and it just seemed like that's exactly. I should just leave that line there. I failed to accept that we should be taking this for a sell side, but once we were already basically below this wick, and I'm like, I don't want to enter if she's still in the middle of my box, because then that could be just an automatic stop loss thing, right? Uh, Stayed in the trade, and next thing you know, she just kept coming down. She kept coming down. I'm like, this motherfucker is not gonna buy down here, bro. I was like, if anything, support was basically right over here, the 452, but we came down to 407. Actually, it's more like 410. So I was like, what's happening? So now I'm kind of just taking a step back. If I don't really understand anything, the one thing about me is that I'm not gonna trade, right? Then I'm like looking at it, and I was like, you know what? Let me just delete this box. I was like, the only thing I could see is basically this at this point. That's the only thing I could see. Uh, and I was like, to my friends, if she can basically wick this, come back to what used to be support that I generally believe now is treating as a resistance. If we could just wick that, I'll take it to the sell side, and that's exactly what it did, right? That's exactly what it did. But I mean, I contemplated. I waited too long. I don't know. I don't know. It's just one of those things. I waited so long. By the time I entered, I was already here, probably even closer to here, because I was like, I don't want to see it break this or low. If it enters below that low, I was like, because we still have to make a new low, because we're already in a sell, right? We're not gonna hold. We definitely have no reason to hold support there. But I was like, we could hold support here though. Uh, don't know why, but literally as soon as I got in, and I literally just took profit over here. Now, I mean, it might have been a little bit earlier, to be honest, because as soon as it wicked over here, she was pulling back pretty heavy, and I only got 20 points, and it says from there to here is 100 points, and that's not even remotely accurate. So I don't know whether my entry got filled in lower or whether I took profit earlier. I can't tell you which one of the two it is, but uh, I walked in today putting pressure on myself, right? I walked in, well, more like last night, is that I saw that we were basically, I started this account from $327, guys. $327, right? And then pre-market before trading, it was early six. I think it was like 646 or 648. Not 100% sure, but I literally saw that, and I was like, I could double that count today, right? And not to mention that prior to just this morning, I'm on a 13-day streak. Now after trading today, I'm on a 14-day streak in general, but on a 4-day win with this new account. So it's 14-day streak, right? From green, from being April 30th, not really even holding trades that even get a drawdown. Actually, today was basically the second trade, right? The second trade was the trade that actually was at one point negative 112 in drawdown. So this was a negative RR trade. After I closed that trade, I was kind of shitting my pants and I was sweating to my feet, and I was like, that was a horrible trade. I Because you guys have to understand this, right? When I entered, I knew when to enter, but then look at this. That's how much of a chase I ignored and I jumped in for a sell. When you understand a trade is late, and I mean way too late, you don't want to go more. You don't want to keep going after it. So, I got in for a sell, and I was like, you know what? Since I wanted to see its support, I was looking to the left. I was like, this is a perfect resistance, right? That's a perfect resistance. So what I want to do, and I don't think it's gonna do it over here. Yeah, I have to bring it to a 1 minute time frame just to show you guys. I saw that we were basically holding this area. So seeing I missed out the first one, I just happened a little too fast. Came up the second time. I saw this wick, so I literally entered a sell. Literally, she was coming down, so I entered a sell right here, and I was in drawdown this whole time, and I was like, oh my god, at 40 points in drawdown. I was like telling myself after this candle at 640, I was like, if the 641 candles gets above that wick, I just have to, and that's exactly was edging my stop loss, really, the area that I wanted to take my uh just close the whole trade. But luckily she was coming down, and the next candle it just dropped. So that was sweet. I instantly just manually closed the trade, the second trade. um Really, the biggest day, it's crazy. You could trade like shit, and you could have the biggest trading day of the account on the day. And you know what's funny is that I even lowered my lot size just to protect some means of capital on my first trade. So otherwise, if I took 4 lots the same as that, I mean, I could have been down 160, right? But then this trade would have been would have been I think the second trade was like 28 points, just round up to 30, shy of 30 points, right? This was close to 90. Uh, if I took 4 lots, it could have been basically 120 minus, say, a few dollars, right? So that's you know, my stop loss would have been a bigger amount. The thing that people don't understand is that these amounts are because of lot sizes. 4 lots is $4 from this broker. 3 lots is $3 per broker. People, and then when I take 93 lots, that's $93 per point. But then I don't ever, if I have the account size to be trading that, I'm never just taking just that. I'm typically going to be scaling, and I'm going to be taking multiple positions, right? Basically, I'm using a little ETA, a little robot, if you will, uh, to make sure that's multiplying my trades. So I'm trading 300. I'm trading 400. I'm trading 500 on average. I'm trading 632 points. I mean dollars, $632 per point. So on my big account. So when you see those massive days, just know what it means, right? So really, I think the biggest thing, that the huge mental block that I had on my stuff uh is that I wanted just to make $14, just to officially double my account, and jumped in the second trade, and that second trade was really the one that fucked me up. But at the same time, I mean, it was a great sell. Just I wouldn't change anything. I have to be really honest. But hard day of trading. Look at Nas again. Very hard day of trading as well. Um, Ideally, I wanted to basically see it hold support over here, right? I basically was saying that because that wick, I believe that's where I put my stop loss. I mean, sorry, I put my support. Really wanted to see it hold the trade pre-market and New York opening. I wanted to basically see it tap this and curl back up. What happened with a lot of people, especially if I was trading, realistically speaking, you would have bought it and then you would have been holding this for 20 points because she came all the way down here, right? So, but this is exactly what I was telling my friends. Not that they're wrong or anything, but you have to get used to looking to the left. Have to basically see where the wicks are facing downwards and where the wicks are facing upwards. That's basically where you have your um, stop loss for your support. So I had a bad feeling when I woke up looking at the charts today. I should have just trusted my gut, but at the same time, it just panned out. There's no other way to say it. I'm not happy to even reflect and to make this video, because I traded like pure shit. Just the honest truth. So I'm gonna cope and make myself feel better that of these two numbers. This number from 327. I mean, come on, $400 in 4 days. Who could do anything like this? So I know a lot of people are like, I could do that too. Yeah, okay. Well, you're on a 50K funded or a 50K eval, and you can hardly even get to the funded phase. You're on a 50K funded, and you can realistically, even on a 50K funded, where you basically have 10 times more than what I started with. By the way, um, $327 minus basically $2,500. You should at least $2,500 before drawdown. You should realistically, with that amount, and I could do it with $2,500 of capital. That's your drawdown on those fundeds. I could realistically be making at least $500 to $800 every single day. It's because I know how to trade. Okay, that's easy. I've been there, and that's when I really hit the gas on my trading. This until I can get this to 1,500 or 2,000. It's scary because I have to really understand when I can and cannot afford to take certain trades. Okay, and it's a huge mental block in my mind. So with that being said, uh, somebody made a YouTube video mentioning me in a video. So with all that being said, peace, love, and cheers. Even though I called the setup in my chat, that blue line is basically the purple box down. Was basically this line right here. It's crazy how it just worked. So I want you guys to see it. I called it the 490, 49, 497 level. Look at, well, I mean a little bit lower, right? But look at, right? So and I sent this at what time? I sent this 5 minutes pre-market. But no joke. I was like a little blindsided. US 30 at the moment, 11 markets pre-market. Actually, she had the same thing on her chart. So somebody was saying just gonna sit on my hands if I don't see what we get. And next thing you know, it just happened. So it's just one of those days. I really don't want to post this YouTube video, but because I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate, but I want to at least be honest for you guys. So peace, love, and cheers. It's still it's still a new week. Let's get it.